What are the top 5 most counterfeited luxury bags and brands? If you ever wondered about that, well, that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. If you did not see my video that I posted last week, definitely check it out because it is all about the rise of the super fakes, and I really thought it was quite an interesting video. If you have seen that video, tell me your thoughts, and if you listen to that article, also tell me your thoughts. I was just so excited to share that with you guys because I really enjoyed it a lot. But in today's video, like I said, we're going to talk about the 5 most counterfeited luxury bags. So we're going to start off with number 1, which is, to no surprise, a bag from Louis Vuitton, and it is the ta-da, Neverfull. The most functional bag and the most popular from the brand. Wow, what a surprise. It's also one of the most counterfeited designer bags globally, you guys, globally. Louis Vuitton is by far the most counterfeited handbag company in the world. Their bags are the most common fakes available online and on the streets. Perhaps it is easy to replicate pattern, or perhaps it is the recognizability of the design. The price tags on the real bags typically range from $1,000 to $10,000. The monogram canvas material is typically the most counterfeited. First bag was no surprise to me. Obviously, Louis Vuitton bags are highly replicated. We see them all the time, which is something that people get mad about when I say it, but I do really feel like it has turned me off from wearing Louis bags. The same with Gucci, but we're gonna get to that. I just feel like Louis bags are replicated so much that you sometimes just don't even know, and it makes you look tacky wearing them because maybe you saved really hard for your first Louis bag, but you're driving a car that's falling apart. Now you got this nice Louis Vuitton bag, but someone's gonna think, oh, well, her car isn't that great, so the bag's probably fake. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's just too many people that are wearing these fakes. Moving on to number 2, which is a Chanel bag, and it is the Chanel Classic 255. That is getting the most knockoffs, and it's also their all-time best seller. Now, you Chanel lovers probably already know that. On Canal Street in New York City, something that can be spotted everywhere is the iconic Chanel Double C logo. It is the most often seen in the back of the stores, hidden away from the prying eyes of the police officers. Now, for those of you who are new here, I have been to New York many times, and an ex-boyfriend of mine actually bought a fake Rolex there one time on that exact street. Yes, he did, and it was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. He kind of like waved this guy on the street down. They went into this little alley, and it was really bizarre. I was like, please don't ever do this again when I'm with you, because that is really freaking weird. But yes, that's my experience with that. Anyways, let me continue reading to you guys what I wrote down. The bag is one of the most counterfeited of handbags on Canal, I don't know why I wanted to say Chanel, on Canal Street in New York City, and is often a badge of honor for both the seller and the buyer. Chanel has begun to improve their game in terms of protecting their brand. They have come out with designs that would increase the cost of manufacturing the fake handbags. So that's a good thing, right? We're seeing more brands that are trying to kind of put a stop to this and to kind of make it harder for these people that are replicating these bags. Obviously, it's not going to be possible for them to completely make them die out. I mean, they're always going to continue to make these bags, but wild, you guys, absolutely wild. Let's move on to number 3, which is Gucci. Now, for Gucci, I couldn't find one specific bag because right away, when I went into the research, from my experience in the past where I authenticated bags, Gucci is one of the most replicated brands. All of their bags are faked. I mean, geez, it doesn't matter if it's a tote, if it's a duffel bag, especially those smaller bags, vintage bags. So many fakes. It is absolutely wild. Gucci Corporate has made it a mission to attempt to take down as many counterfeit handbag websites as they can. Websites dedicated to counterfeit handbags have been smacked with a takedown notice by Gucci's corporate lawyers. They then go after the hosting provider with a cease and desist. If this does not work, they then put a claim for damages in front of the federal judge. They've also gone as far as flagging the credit cards that are being used to buy these fakes. So again, we're seeing Gucci kind of do what they can to kind of put a stop to this, just because they're replicated. They're being replicated like so much. It's literally absolutely wild. Talk about number 4, the Hermès Birkin. Of course we have to talk about it. Okay, let me pull up my little notes. So the Hermès Birkin, biggest price differential between real and fake. Shocker, obviously, right? So Hermès makes a wide range of handbags, but only one is really the focus of counterfeiters, and it is the Birkin bag. The darling of the Hermès brand is only one of 2 Hermès handbags that are only for sale in select retail boutiques. Genuine Birkins typically sell anywhere from $10,000 to $150,000, with a typical Birkin handbag costing roughly $25,000. A diamond Birkin has been recorded to be sold for $2.2 million, setting a record price for a handbag. Only handbag by Hermès that comes even remotely close to the popularity of the Birkin is, my friends, guess which one do you think it is? Of course, it's the Kelly. Even though Birkins are so highly popular, counterfeits don't do that well. And you know why? It makes a lot of sense. I'm going to tell you why now. Genuine Birkins are so expensive that most people would assume that only the super rich can afford them. Meaning, Birkin bags owned by regular people would normally be assumed to be fake. Most people cannot afford to buy a bag for the same cost of a small house or a car. So therefore, we don't see actually a lot of these fakes out in public because it just doesn't make any sense, right? Which, it's a good thing. Let's just say that it is a good thing. Moving on to last but not least, and that is YSL. Now, YSL is kind of the same as Gucci. All of their bags are getting knocked off equally. So, basically, the quality of the fake YSL handbags can sometimes be pretty horrendous, right? So they don't really hold up. They can look cheap or tacky because YSL designs and handbags have a focus on higher quality leather, and the fake versions just can't compare unless they're like a super fake or something and they're really putting time into that material, but you know, whatever. So that's kind of the thing with the YSLs. And like I said in my last video, one of my friends with the fake YSL, at first I didn't really spot it, but now the wear and tear on that thing is crazy. Actually, I didn't tell you guys in the last video, we went into YSL and the SA actually complimented her on her fake bag. He said, and I quote, "I'm so happy to see you representing our brand." When we left the store, she was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe he didn't notice that this wasn't a real bag." So, you know, that's just crazy. I can't believe that I forgot to tell you guys that in my last video. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. Leave me a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Mwah.